Hello, what's here to you, and welcome back to the 12 Days of Gaming. Today we're playing through RWBY Grimm Eclipse. I don't really talk about this in a whole lot in videos, but I love RWBY. It's like one of my favorite web shows ever. I have a lot of fond memories of the series, and we actually did a video on RWBY before. We did a video where Pancakearmorman was guessing the names of the characters we were throughout the show and things like that. And we did a similar thing where I was guessing the names of JoJo Bizarre's Adventure characters. It was a pretty fun time. There'll be a link to that in the description below, or the card in the corner of the screen, or whatever you want to click on. But today we're playing through RWBY Grimm Eclipse. So at this game we'll be able to play as a Team RWBY with RWBY, Wise, Plague, Yang. And we can also play as Team Juniper with John, Nora, Pyra, and Ren. So that's pretty fun. Everybody has like different outfits. We have their usual outfit, the beacon uniform, the beacon dance, the pajamas, time skip, power armor. I don't recognize that one. Atlas are these new? These look new. That's cool. So yeah, today we're playing through RWBY Grimm Eclipse with my favorite character in the series, Yang. So without further ado, let's get this started. RWBY Grimm Eclipse is a kind of beat 'em up game where you'll be exploring a couple of different worlds across the world of Remnant and be able to beat up everything in cold blood. And it's a pretty fun time all around. So we got some Grimm over here we can beat up, so that's going to be pretty fun as soon as I find them. I know I saw some. Yeah, there you are. So everybody has like their own combos and stuff like that. RWBY is an up-close puncher character, so that's going to be a pretty fun time. And our most evil nemesis, Pottery. It must be destroyed. Whenever an icon like that appears, you have a chance to do a combo attack or a counter or whatever you want to call it. So that's going to be pretty interesting indeed. Now, I might end up using some combos that I don't think are accessible when you're first starting a new playthrough of this game. I don't know, I don't remember off the top of my head if you unlock new ones as time goes on or anything like that. But it's a pretty fun one. And right there, we have a new ability, so let's go like that.
Didn't even break a sweat.
Nice work, students. As you know, we've been having some trouble with the security network in this area. Need boots on the ground to investigate. That means you, team, onward!
That's basically our objective throughout this game. This is basically like a research, a field experiment thing. I don't know if this is canon to the RWBY lore or anything like that. If it is, it probably takes place before Season 3. That sounds like the most logical conclusion to come to. I'm going to be completely honest, it has been a little while since I've seen the show. Like, I love RWBY, like especially the first 3 seasons. I kind of haven't been keeping up with it as much as I would like, mostly because, like, it's really annoying. So, Rooster Teeth had all their episodes on YouTube, and that's where I used to watch them on, but now they're only uploaded on, like, their own website. And their website is, like, filled with ads and things like that. It's really, really annoying. So, yeah, that's a big reason why I haven't really been keeping up with the original show. So, that's pretty interesting. I would like to get back into it, once I have the chance to like watch it again. I think the last season that I watched, without going into spoilers or anything like that, they were in one city and there's like a big group of Grimm followed by the big bad guy going towards the town. That probably sums up like a bunch of seasons, so that might not be super helpful, but that's where I'm currently at in the show. So how I got into the RWBY series is a pretty fun story. So for a while there, I was reading into a series called Death Battle, where they'd have like 2 characters and try to figure out which one of them would win in like a fight to the death and stuff like that. Like when they're at their most absolute powerful and stuff. They have a couple of really good ones here and there. They have a couple other ones that I don't agree with at all. Like one of my favorite ones was Chuck Norris versus Sekata Sansuro. That one's pretty good. They have Deadpool versus The Mask, Link versus Cloud. Mario vs. Sonic, all that fun stuff. The big one that I don't really agree with is Zelda vs. Peach. That's one that I hope they remake someday, because I don't think the results of that one were really accurate. Mostly because I kind of feel like they broke their own rules, because within their death battle thing, the big rule is that they can't have summons or anything like that. They have to rely on their own skills, and Peach kind of used a summon from Super Mario RPG, so I don't think that really works, but that's not the point. And also it's because it's outdated, because it was before my Odyssey and Breath of the Wild and that stuff. And there's a thingy! That's like my favorite voice clip from Yang. I'm gonna play through it again, because like that's my favorite voice clip in this entire game. I love Yang so much. Yeah, so yeah, you might hear me wifey gushing about Yang every now and then. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. But anyway, yeah, going back to the death battle thing, the episode that kind of got me into RWBY was the episode where they had Yang versus Tifa. Now, I had played a little bit of Final Fantasy VII at this point. I didn't get very far into it. It was the original PlayStation version. Nowadays, I'm playing through it on Switch and stuff, and I still haven't really gotten far into it in the grand scheme of things, but I think I've made it to that point, being vague and specific about a plot twist that everybody knows about. So, yeah, like, I knew about Tifa. I didn't know who Yang was, and I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be Final Fantasy VII versus some random anime character I never heard of. So let's go watch it. It's going to be fun. And then I started watching and I was like, oh, wait, this random anime character is actually kind of awesome. So that's a big reason why I got into RWBY. And the funny thing about that is that I think the creators behind the Death Battle show, like, had said that they were a little biased with the results of that episode, because it was meant to be more like a promotion thing for RWBY in the first place, which it worked. It got me into RWBY, and I'm pretty sure like it got a bunch of other people interested as well. So yeah, it's a pretty fun time. Now, again, I do want to get back into the show. It's just like I don't want to say I haven't had the time for it, because like I don't really know how to word it. Like, I just haven't really had the desire to go back and try to finish it. I don't know if the show's over or anything like that. It probably isn't, but like I would like to go back into it whenever I do get the chance. But yeah, like RWBY Grimm Eclipse specifically, I really like this game. It's a pretty fun beat 'em up and stuff like that. It's just a nice game to like turn your brain off and just enjoy beating up Grimm and things like that. And I also just love the RWBY universe in general, so it's just always fun to like have an actual game to explore these worlds in. Now, it's not like an open world game or anything like that. These are pretty linear levels, and the combat can get a little bit repetitious for some folks. Personally, and this might be just because I'm on the spectrum and things like that, but I like repetition in games. And so, like, that's kind of a big reason why it doesn't really bother me that much. Like, I really like the combat in this game. It's pretty fun. Is there anything else down here? Or are we just going in a big circular loop? I think we might be going into a big circular loop. Ah, no, there's a thingy. I just love Yang so much. He's so cute and awesome and I love her. Alright, let's continue onwards. Also, I gotta say, I always really loved the way they animated Yang's hair. So, like, it's really funny because in the earlier seasons, you could definitely tell they were using, like, low-budget animation tools and things like that to work on the show. So the physics for Yang's hair were always really funny to look at. But, I don't know, Yang's hair in this game, it's especially pleasing to look at and things like that. So we'll continue on this way, and there's a control center. Ooh. Now, my experience with this game specifically, so, like, I knew about this game when it was announced and things like that, because I was really, like, determined to follow everything RWBY, for lack of a better term. I don't really know. Like, I was super into the show. So, like, I heard about Grimm Eclipse when it was announced. I didn't really get a chance to play it, though, because from what I heard, I think I'm remembering this correctly. When it was first announced, it was going to be, like, for Steam and PlayStation 4 only, and I didn't have a good enough PC to run this game, and my PlayStation 4 didn't exist yet. So, yeah. Okay, first of all, this right here is part of the game. The Grimm are going to try to destroy the control center, so whenever you see one approaching it, you're going to want to destroy the evil Grimm jerks. That was not a good place to use that because we were pretty far away from the other Grimm. But we still destroyed the other guys anyway. And it's not going to take that long for us to get our combo back up anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Wave 1 of 4 complete. Alright. So my first experience playing this game was at, I believe, PAX West 2017. So, like, that was the first time that I ever went to PAX and things like that, and it was pretty fun. My sister was there for the first day. I don't think she played a whole lot of demos though. It wasn't the first demo that I played. That one goes to like some VR game that was about a wizard or something. I thought it was really cool. But yeah, like on one of the other days when it was just me, I went over to the Rooster Teeth booth and started playing RWBY Grimm Eclipse and things like that. It was pretty fun. Like, I really liked it. I think I was playing as Pyra during the demo, but I was bad at the game because I didn't really play a whole lot of beat up things and things like that. So I was like, not got great at it. But I still had a really fun time with it, and eventually I was able to get it on PC. It didn't run too well on my computer. I think that's just more so that my computer was a potato. But, like, it was still a really fun time. I really enjoyed it. I didn't get too far into the PC version, though. But then they announced it for Switch. I ended up playing through it a lot more recently. I did play for the first couple of stages the day the game first came out. I didn't really touch it since then, but like every now and then I do go back and like go back and play through a little bit more of this game. I would like to get around to playing more characters though, because whenever I play this game, it's usually just Pyra or Yang, or yeah, it's usually just Yang. I don't think I've played Pyra yet on this version yet. So whenever the icon like that appears, did you just say that? Did that tickle? Whenever that icon appears, you can do that to do a super attack, and it's pretty interesting. The downside, though, is that the game kind of locks you in that position, so it might not be the most pleasant of experiences. Also, we're pretty low on HP, so we should probably run away like a little sissy baby. Ow, I pushed the A button! Do I have to do all that all over again? Please tell me we don't have to do all those waves all over again. I don't know what happened there. I pushed the A button and then it didn't do a thing and now I'm deceased. Being deceased is not a good pastime. I can't recommend it. Okay, I don't know why I put us on that menu. And we gotta do all these waves again. Oh boy, ain't that fun. Okay, that's like my one big gripe about beat'em up games in general, not just this one, is that whenever you get to a checkpoint and you're trying to fight wives of enemies, that sounds horrible. Waves of enemies. Whenever you try to fight waves of enemies, I wonder what that would be like. Like, I'm just imagining something like, I don't know, like Retro City Rampage or something like that, and like all those big muscular guys you beat up throughout the game. There's like a bonus level where like the wives of all those henchmen and things like that are getting revenge because you beat up their husbands or something like that. That'd be kind of a weird game. Anyway. So yeah, beat 'em up games, they're pretty fun. This one and River City Girls are probably like my favorite beat 'em up games. So that's pretty interesting. I'm terrible at River City Girls though. I didn't play too much further than what we showed off during the 12 Days of Gaming a couple years ago. I would like to get more into it. Like I would like to play more of the game and things like that. I seem to say that a lot about games nowadays, but my problem is that whenever I play their games, it's usually the same ones over and over again, or preparing for like an upcoming Let's Play and things like that. So that's a pretty interesting time all around. Control center under attack. Oh no! Whatever are we going to do? All right, let's take care of you and go this way. So some other RWBY experiences I have. So this one's pretty interesting. Would you stop attacking me? I'm only allowed to attack you. It's only fair. Okay, let's get away from you. That was a Final Fantasy victory theme. Okay. So, yeah, another game that I really liked that has RWBY characters in it. There's a BlazBlue Crosstalk battle. That one's really fun. What I really like about that one is that it has RWBY characters and Persona. So, yeah, like combines two of some of my favorite things ever. So that's pretty fun. And one of my favorite things in that game is when you have a tag team of RWBY and GA, and they're like, and GA says something along the lines of, "Your punches are pretty strong, Yang, but I bet my kicks are even stronger." Oh, hello, you just materialized in front of my face hole. Let's lure all of you jerks around here, and then we will... Ah, you are doing that. Okay, let's do this. Alright, we Thanos you into oblivion. What I would love to see, like, so, this is very off topic, but saying Thanos just made me think of this. So, you know, it'd be like some of the most awesome nerd thing in the world. So, what if you had a lightsaber that was powered by an Infinity Stone? Because lightsabers are powered by kyber crystals in Star Wars lore. Now, they're probably very different from the materials used to make an Infinity Stone and things like that, but I'm genuinely curious, what would happen if you had a lightsaber built from an Infinity Stone? Now, what I'm picturing at first is that they'd probably have a lightsaber that's using the Power Stone, because that just kind of seems like the one that makes the most sense when it comes to combat and things like that, because the Power Stone, like, is, like, super powerful and things like that. It can literally obliterate a planet just by touching it. So I think that would be a really cool lightsaber. But, like, what I'm also kind of, like, imagining, like, an Infinity Gauntlet lightsaber. So, you'd have something in the... You'd have one lightsaber powering, like, the actual blade itself, and the other one's inside the hilts or something. I don't really know the best way to describe it. I don't even know if what I'm saying is making any sense or anything like that. But I think that'd be really interesting. Like having a lightsaber Infinity Gauntlet. I would like to see them at some point do some kind of meaningful crossover between Star Wars and Avengers and things like that. I don't think they're going to, at least not outside like parody stuff. But having like a legitimate thing like that would be interesting. I don't know, like in terms of the story, like where it would take place and everything, because I'm pretty sure if they were to do that with the MCU stuff, they'd want to make sure it's following like current stuff. But you'd also want to get big names in there like Spider-Man or Iron Man and things like that. But with Star Wars, it's weird. Star Wars and Disney is very weird because for the first couple years, they were just adamant that nothing outside the sequels really mattered that much, outside of like prequels or whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it just kind of seemed like they only really cared about like establishing the story of the sequels and things like that. Which it's not a bad idea because you have like a whole new era of Star Wars you're trying to establish and things like that. And the thing about Star Wars stories is that they always start in the middle of the action. So like that's kind of the big reason why George Lucas had the original movie set in like after the Clone Wars and stuff. Where's this other guy? Alright, you took a moment longer than anticipated to come out of your hiding hole. Alright, so yeah. That's kind of the big reason why they started with episode 4, because like George Lucas wanted Star Wars fans to feel like they missed something going into the series, so they'd want to come back for more stories later. That's kind of like the mindset they also went with the sequel trilogy and things like that. And I guess it kind of worked there, but it also felt like going into it, you were missing a lot more than usual. Because you go from episodes 6 to 7, and everything's all peaceful and happy and stuff at the end of Return of the Jedi, and then episode 7 starts, and it's like, oh, wait, no, there's another empire, and they're, like, blowing up solar systems, and that's not very nice. I swear I like the sequels. I'm like one of the weirdos who actually likes Rise of the Skywalker, and I know it's not the best movie in the world, and there was so much more that they could have done with it. But, like, it's not the worst thing in the world. Like, Star Wars definitely has had, like, less than great movies and things like that. Like, I think my overall least favorite still has to be the original Clone Wars movie. Like, that's kind of the big thing that kind of turned me away from wanting to watch the TV show. Like, my history with the Clone Wars is weird. Like, I don't want to go into it too much because this is RWBY video, and I kind of want to talk more about RWBY, but I do want to finish this train of thought. So, with RWBY, with Star Wars, I was very excited for the Clone Wars movie and things like that, but then the movie came out, I was like, wait, I didn't really get anything from this movie. This just seems like it's what happened. So that happened, and then they started the TV show. And here's the thing, I really do not like the art style of the Clone Wars. I don't think it looks good. Like, some characters just look plain bad. Now, you could argue that's like an art direction thing, but I legit think some of the characters have like really bad character designs. I think it would have been better if they tried doing 2D animation rather than 3D. But like, yeah, it's probably an unpopular opinion. But my big reason why I don't really like the Clone Wars that much, aside from a bunch of other things, is I don't really think it has good art direction. And it's weird because Tales of the Jedi, that's on Disney Plus recently too. And the thing about that is that like it's the same art direction. So you'd think I wouldn't like it that much, but I don't know, something about it just seems like it just seems like more happens, you know? Okay. Alright, you're gonna do that. Alright, punchy, punchy, punchy! Punchy! Yay, punchy! Hey! Alright, punchy, yay, we did it! Yay! At the end of the level, I think that was the end of the level. Well, I want to keep playing, though. I want to keep playing.
Excellent work.
Oh, yay, there's more stuff to do. Oh, no, there isn't. Okay. Alright, so, yeah, finishing up the train of thought. Tales of the Jedi, good. Clone Wars, okay. Movie, bad. It's weird, because I did go back into... Like, I tried watching through the entirety of the Clone Wars. The first season was even worse than I remember it being, but like I watched the last couple ones when it starts tying into Return of the Jedi or Revenge of the Sith, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of decent. Alright, so who do I want to play as next? What do your outfits look like? At the times. That is horrible. That is horrible. I'm not gonna say any more than that, but if you watched RWBY, oh my goodness, that is, oh, that's heartbreaking. We got pajamas. All right, that's pretty cool. Begin dance outfit. I always loved the John Were dress at the dance. That was always very fun. What else is there? That looks like everything. Okay, what were your outfits again? Let's go. The coin has chosen pajamas! Probably not the best thing to go wear in a combat situation, but there's also RWBY, so like I don't think they really care that much. Also, they have semblances, so that protects them from like getting hurt and stuff like that. So yeah, let's have a fun little pajama day beating up monsters. Yay! All right, so let's go over this way and continue on our merry way through our path of glory. Destroy that box because it was making fun of me, and let's continue onwards. So there's another RWBY game coming out called, I think it's called like Arrowverse or something like that, or something. I'll have a caption on screen if I got the name wrong or anything like that. I'm pretty excited for that one because it's also coming to Switch too. So hopefully it's gonna be decent. Like the big worry I always get when there's a Switch game coming out is if it's gonna be like a buggy mess or anything like that. Because it's really weird because they do have the ability to like make the Switch at least somewhat decent. It's just that a lot of developers, I don't want to say they don't care, because like porting a game to a new console, it's not as easy as like pushing a button and it's like, oh, you got your Switch version, you're ready to go. It's a lot more difficult than that. So yeah, it's not the easiest thing in the world to port a game over to a new console. Like if you want an example, A Hat in Time, you'd think that'd be an easy port, but they used Unreal Engine 3 rather than Unreal Engine 4, which the Switch had a hard time with Unreal Engine 3 because like it's really only built for Unreal Engine 4. So that's the reason why the developers weren't even sure if they'd be able to make a Switch version at all for that one. These games right here always have struggled with this one, but hopefully this will work out in our favor. Let's speed you up. Come on, come on. Yeah, nailed it. But yeah, what was I saying? I was gonna go. What was I saying a second ago with the brain in my head? I don't remember, so we're gonna move on to a new topic. Yay! Again, today we'll go soaring through the sky. My enemies are just from up and us to fry. Increase the skyness of the light. Watch this from up above. At dinner time, I always just cook some love. Ah, there's two of them. Oh, that might be, oh, this... I forgot about this. So we can also kind of do that. That could do a little bit of knockback. I don't think it's going to work too well for these guys, though. The Y button, going into combat, the Y button is like your fast attack, the X button is your strong attack, mission, all that stuff to do combos. Let's do this. Ow! Oh, we can't center the camera behind us. Why did I think we couldn't do that? Alright. Hey! You are not invited to my birthday party! Why would you do such a horrible thing? Alright. Let's go over here. Destroy you. Come on. I wish there was a way you can lock on enemies, like in Zelda. Unfortunately, that's not the case. But yeah, going back to console ports and things like that, it's really weird because probably one of the strangest examples of that has to be Sonic Colors. Because the thing with Sonic Colors is that was originally a Wii game. And what I loved about the original Wii version was that it showed a developer trying on the console. But the thing about that was that when they made the remake and things like that, it seemed like everything but the Switch ran decently-ish. But the thing is, it's also weird. Sonic Colors was a really great game. Like, it did have a few game-breaking bugs here and there because there's the whole water jumping glitch that can let you, like, slowly explore things. But, like, it wasn't a complete disaster like something along the lines of Sonic 06 or something like that. But when they made the remake, it then became a broken mess. So, like, my cynical side wants to say that Sega saw that they had that one Sonic game that was actually comparable, and they were like, oh, wait, This doesn't line up with our company philosophy. We need to make this a broken mess. Let's make Sonic Colors Ultimate and make it a broken mess that everyone can enjoy. It's like, I do want to try Sonic Colors, but here's the other thing. I honestly think the Wii version just looks visually better. Something about the HD visuals, it doesn't really look very good. Like, it kind of looks like they redid the lighting and that was it. And the character models and things like that. I don't know, they don't really blend into the new lighting very well. I'm talking about everything aside from RWBY, aren't I? Alright, let's activate the gear. Wave 1 incoming. Alright, so we got some bad guys over here, and we want to make sure that they don't infiltrate the gear. Because after all, if I had time toss everything, is the gears are for breakfast. Oh no, you are over here now. Why would you do that? You are not allowed. The only thing that you're allowed to do is to be punched. Which, by the way, I gotta say, Yang, another one of the big reasons why I love her so much is that her weapon is just the best thing in the world. Like, what I really love about RWBY in general is they have such clever characters in the show, and they have really great weapons and things like that. Yang has my absolute favorite, because she punches people, and the punching turns into bullets. This is all kinds of awesome. Like, there's one point where they're fighting a really giant monster. They're like fighting a giant flying Grimm thing, and then like Yang climbs on top of it. And she's punching into the mouth, and the bullets are flying, and it's really cool. It's just all kinds of awesome, and I love it so much. But probably my favorite action scene has to be this one moment. Like, I don't know if I can have footage of it on screen or anything like that, but it's my god, I get goosebumps every time I see the scene. So they have a couple characters fighting one of the earlier villains, Roman Torchic, and they have one character who has like a staff that can separate into nunchucks, and when they're separated into nunchucks, it turns into like pistols and things like that. The nunchuck pistols are fighting, and just that entire sequence is like honestly one of the coolest things on the entire show. It's so cool. I love it so much. It's awesome. It's all kinds of poggers. Alright, let's get rid of you. And now. Okay, let's get you to go away from me. No, don't hurt the waifu. Hurting the waifu is not allowed. Alright, we'll continue on over here. Ew! Owie! What did I say earlier about hurting the waifu? You're not allowed to hurt the waifu! Alright. This is like a pretty good attack for, like, getting the Grimm to go away from you. It won't work that well against, like, some of the other larger enemies in the game. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. Like, it's definitely more effective against smaller enemies like this. These guys are basically like just the Goombas of this game, where they're not super threatening or anything like that. It's just that they are super mean and they do not like eggnog. And if you don't like eggnog, then you might as well be dead to me. Because we just cannot be friends. And I don't know what to tell you. Although if you don't like eggnog genuinely, then yeah, I'm sure that's your opinion and things like that. And you know what? You know what? I can respect that. I can respect if you don't like eggnog. Because it's not for everybody. Like, I know the texture could be a little weird for some folks. But honestly, eggnog really is just the best thing in the world. So, like, here are the top three. Here are, like, the top couple things that I'd rank in the world. So, there's waifus. Waifus are number 1. And then eggnog. And then pizza. And then waifus again. Those are the top 4 best things in the world. And also blue milk, because blue milk is awesome. If you ever go to Disney World, then definitely try blue milk, because it's pretty yummy. The funny thing about that is that there was one time where I got kind of bored. So, like, I wanted to know how many things of blue milk we'd have to make to basically pay for a Star Cruiser trip. Because the thing is, the Star Cruiser, it's not an inexpensive experience. It's kind of more on the spendy side. So one day I was curious and I was like, okay, the blue milk is like $9 for like a cup. How many of these do I have to make to pay for a Star Cruiser trip? Because I got curious one day and I wanted to know if the amount that I make every day, because I make a lot of blue milk whenever I'm at the milk stand, things like that. So if I make the blue milk, how many of those would I have to do to pay for a Star Cruiser trip? So what I eventually found was that, like, the buckets that we store them in, we did basically like make 11 buckets worth of blue milk to be able to pay for a Star Cruiser trip. That is a lot of blue milk, so I don't think it'd be feasible for anybody to drink that. At least not by themselves, but Star Cruiser trips are usually at least 2 or 4 people. So you might be able to split that amongst yourselves. And the cool thing is, Star Cruiser, you also get free blue milk on there. So they literally have like it's like a soda fountain thing, but it's for blue milk. And I do want to try it at some point. Like, I haven't been able to be on Star Cruiser yet, and it makes me real sad. I only know so much about it as I do because like I had a friend who was part of the opening team on Star Cruiser, and that was really cool. But like, yeah, like there weren't really a whole lot of people part of the testing team for it. I'll just say that right now. It was not very fun. Alright, wait for you to do that. Go with that, and boom. Ah, give it for me. Alright. At some point I would like to try Star Cruiser. Because the thing is, it does look really, really cool. It's just like I don't know if I wanna pay like $4,000 for 2 nights. That seems a little steep, but on the other hand, like I am a huge Star Wars fan, so I'm sure that if I did go on there, I'd like have the absolute time of my life, because the actual things that you do on there are really cool. It's just that they kind of don't really show what you do on Star Cruiser and like the advertising and things like that. Like they usually lean more so into the fact that you're gonna be like living your own Star Wars story and things like that, and that's really cool on its own. But it's hard to sell that for the high price that they're asking for. I don't know. Like at some point I would like to do it. It just seems like a little bit on the spendy side. But anywho, enough about Star Cruiser and all that fun stuff. We're going over this way now. Got that. Take care of you guys, and yeah, the thing worked for once. All right, and we gotta get rid of you. And there's a couple more of these jerks. Nice thing about this game is that this really is like one of the fun games. You can just turn your brain off for a while and just enjoy beating up Grimm. So the combat in this game like isn't really super steep or anything like that. So like we do have instances like that where I die because I'm an idiot, but it is still a pretty fun time to just have fun, turn your brain off for a while, and just enjoy watching RWBY characters beat up monsters and things like that. And especially like this. So one of my favorite things in games is like if you have like an outfit customization thingy or anything like that. I always love having like the most ridiculous outfits in the world in situations like this, where we literally have a girl in pajamas like fighting a bunch of monsters and things like that who are known for like mercilessly hunting humans and things like that. So I don't know, just something about this, something about fighting these monsters in pajamas, like super adorable pajamas and things like that. It's just really funny to me. Alright, let's collect that, and continue onwards. I've also noticed in recent years that whenever I go to video game conventions or anything like that, there's always like that set group of characters that you'll always see at conventions. So for a while there you'll always at least see somebody from Overwatch, whether it was Tracer or Diva or someone like that. Like 2 of my favorite cosplays I've ever seen. There were these 2 ladies who were cosplaying Tracer and Mercy, so that was pretty cool. But beyond that, you'd also always see a Tifa cosplay, you'd always see Misty from Pokemon, and you'd also like see some other folks like dressing up as actual Pokemon themselves. One of my favorite ones is this one lady who dressed as Umbreon and things like that. Like, it was really cool. But also, I've also noticed that there's like a lot of RWBY cosplays in recent years too. I don't think I saw one during PAX 2017 and 2018. But I think I did see a couple of them last time I was there. The last video game convention I went to was PAX West 2021. Because like what I really loved about that was that like that was honestly like my favorite time ever going to PAX, because like normally whenever I'm going out for events like that, I usually just prefer going by myself, because like it is fun to go with friends and things like that, but I usually just prefer like, okay, why is the thing not triggering? Hey, that's not the right button. I saw the, okay, which button do you use a combo? There we go. I don't know why I suddenly forgot that combo. I saw the plus symbol on the thing, and I pressed the pause button, and then the game continued, and then I had the panic attack. Okay, let's continue onwards. So the thing about trips and things like that is I usually prefer going on my own because I feel like I have more control over what I do every day. So, yeah, that's kind of the big reason why for the first couple years of PAX I went by myself, and I would still go to events on my own, but going with everybody on the collab channel, we're going with James, Grimm was giving a Pancakearmorman, like, it was honestly like such a fun time. Like, we had such a fun time going through there and things like that. And there were a few things that definitely could have gone a lot smoother. Namely the fact that I literally forgot the badges the first day and we... Yeah, man. That one really stings because... That one really, really stings. We had a little bit of a late start leaving in the first place. But then, like, we were on our way over there and it's like a half-hour drive over to the convention center from the hotel. I realized partway through that I left the badges in the hotel, and by the time we'd go there and then come back, we'd really only have like an hour or so. We were trying to decide if it would be worth it to even go that day. We decided not to because we figured we probably could spend the time to like record some more games and things like that rather than leaving and coming back and wasting a lot of gas. So yeah, that's something that always really stings about that. It always seems like whenever I try planning out a trip, there's always something that goes wrong. There's always something that goes wrong no matter how hard I plan. So hopefully in the future I can be better about not being a dumbass, but that seems unlikely at this point. I was born a dumbass, now I will die a dumbass. Anyway, let's continue onward. Let's talk about RWBY some more. Yay, RWBY!
Students, we're a quarter of the way there. Keep up.
Wave 2 incoming. Alright, so let's talk about some of the more characters. So I don't want to go into spoilers or anything like that, but I will talk about some of my favorite characters on the show. So I absolutely love RWBY herself. Like, she's just so adorable, and like a lot of the early season stuff was really great. I also think her character, like especially the voice actress, they do such a great job making her like continue to be like the super upbeat, cutesy kind of character. But then, like, after season 3, the tone of the show really starts shifting into a lot more of a serious situation. And I think they handled it very well with RWBY's character specifically. Season 4, I gotta say, I do think it is probably the low point of the show so far. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't think it was a bad season or anything like that. It definitely does make sense because after what happened at the end of season 3, it definitely does make sense that you'd have like something that's a little bit more of a filler season to try to get the world established that, hey, this is different now. Things are going to be a little bit more on the serious side, and this is the new world we're dealing with for the rest of the show. So I do think they definitely handled RWBY's character tone a little bit differently. There are a few things that do bother me, like there is something that happens to one character at the end of season 3 that kind of makes them not really do anything in season 4, and I do get it. I just kind of wish that they approach it a little bit differently, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to be vague and cryptic for people who haven't watched the show, but, like, yeah, that is one thing that did rub me the wrong way. Let's take care of these guys. What's some other fun characters? I also really like Zwei. Zwei is a really adorable puppy. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Beep! That was a really mean combo. They like, she like got knocked back into the other Grimm, and then the other Grimm like, ouchie. That looked like a stab. Stabbings are very unpleasant. Why do I have this accent all of a sudden? I don't know where this accent came from. Actually, I do know where this came from. So I have a friend who has like a very, very thick Southern accent, and I think her voice is starting to rub off on the way I'm speaking because my voice is getting a lot more Southern, and like,
Just as I thought.
it's weird. I've lived here for a year, so like, why is this the thing all of a sudden that's making my voice all Southern and things like that?
Trying to capture Grimm.
It's really amusing because my favorite thing that she says in the world has to be the race she says at credits, because in Galaxy's Edge the currency for transactions and things like that, so like somebody will buy like, let's say somebody buys like a Coke bottle or something like that. So we'll be like, that'll be 6 credits, please, because credits are the currency in Star Wars, and it's really cool and in character and stuff like that. But just like this specific friend that says credits, it's really fun. She'll say credits, and I can't mimic it the way she does it, but it's really, really fun, and it's like one of my favorite things ever. So that's pretty amusing. What are some other fun work stories? So, okay. So this is probably like one of my favorite things that happened recently. So I met another friend who's like probably one of my best friends at Galaxy's Edge for a while, and then her program ended and she got moved over to another location and things like that. So the other day, like she needed to pick up a shift at Galaxy's Edge again to keep the what's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember the word off the top of my head, but to keep the proficiencies to be able to work there. So like, she was looking for a morning shift, and then like I just so happened to have one. And it was really good timing, too, because like the day before, I also had a closing shift at another location, and I was like, okay, if I do this morning shift, I'm only going to get like 5 hours of sleep. So yeah, maybe somebody else can take it. But then like she asked a group chat to if anybody was giving away a shift for that morning. I was like, oh, that's super convenient timing. And also, it was just really nice in general to be able to see this friend again, because like, you ever have people where you just feel like you could be yourself no matter what? Because like, my thing is that even though I am a lot more open about stuff nowadays and things like that, even with all of that, I still feel like for most people, I can't fully be myself around everybody. Like it's not necessarily that I don't try or anything like that, it's just that I always feel shy and stuff. Like I'm honestly a very shy person in real life. This specific friend, I always feel like I can be myself around her and things like that. And it's always real great because having people like that in your life, it's really nice. So now we're going to be dealing with some of these jerk faces. See one over here. Owie. Owie. That was an owie, and owies are not socially acceptable. Like, why would you do that? I don't know what to say. You broke my heart, and I can never trust another human being ever again. So, you are grounded, and you are dead to me. I should have said that backwards. I should have said that the other way. I should have said you're dead to me and you're grounded. Why didn't I say it that way? Why didn't I say it that way? That would have been funnier for comedic effects of comedy. Anyway. Oh no, these jerks are going to hurt my feelings. Alright. We can take care of you, and oh no, why are you being a jerk face? Why are you being a jerk face? I don't like that. I do not like it when people are jerk faces. You could be a jerk, or you could be a face. You cannot be both. Being both is rude, and being rude is not socially acceptable behavior. And I'm just repeating a bunch of the jokes that I already said in this video, but that's kind of my whole thing on this channel is I repeat jokes all the time. This guy's kind of just chilling, minding his own business. Like, hey, look, a wall! Wave 4 incoming. I thought you wouldn't be able to reach me. Alright. Alright, yeah, we're going to beat your buttocks. Yay, the waifu will emerge triumphantly. Except I've got to be a bit more careful. I cannot, like, I don't want to die again. Because I kind of like being alive. Being alive is usually a good pastime. Like, I definitely recommend it if you ever want to give it a try. I'm sorry. Sometimes I'll say things and I'll be like, wait, what did I just say? Why am I a dummy? Yay! Taste my fist. Alright, who else is there for us to destroy? Alright. Aw, look at this thing. Aw, it looks like it's gonna be a challenge. Aw, that's just honestly kind of cute. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You think you're gonna be a big tough guy? Aw, that's just so cute. Let's kill it. Can we defeat you? Like, that's not worth it. That's the second time I sang this song in this video. Alrighty then. Please tell me that was the last one. Please tell me that was the last one. There's more of you! There's more of you! Why are there more? Now, if you're going to, there's going to be more of you, you can at least bring s'mores. In a few hours, you'll be sitting around the campfire cooking delicious hot s'mores. They're called s'mores, Buzz. Okay, like, I don't really pay attention to views or anything like that on my videos or anything, because like I usually just like making whatever videos I feel like, and if it does well, that's fine. But I gotta say, this might seem like a random place to say this, but I really want to thank a lot of my viewers and things like that for watching the Toy Story 2 Let's Play. Because one of the big things I was worried about that one was that it happened too close to Super Mario for people to like care about and stuff like that. Because like I do kind of want to redo a lot of my older Let's Plays, but the thing about that is I don't want too many of them to be redone so close together and things like that. So like I was a little worried Toy Story 2 was happening too close to Paper Mario, but then the Let's Play turned pretty successful and things like that, and I was really grateful. So yay, you're all super awesome! Whee! Also, the characters have a taunt, and it's always really fun. Like, it's like a really, like, honestly, this is like a badass pose for Yang when she does that. It's really cool. Like, I love Yang. Yang is like my favorite character on the show. She's always real great, she's real funny, and stuff like that. And she's also top tier waifu, and all that fun stuff. And also, her pajamas are super adorable. Like, I'm gonna be blunt. Her pajamas are super adorable in this game. But that's going to be everything that we'll be showcasing for RWBY Grimm Eclipse. And this video might have been a bit on the longer side, so I do apologize for that. I just kind of continue playing and rambling and things like that. Like, I swear, these videos are kind of more like a podcast at this point, honestly. But that's going to be it for this episode of the 12 Days of Gaming. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you'd like to see a Let's Play RWBY Grimm Eclipse, let me know in the comments below. I honestly think it might work. I honestly think this might be actually a fun Let's Play to do at some point. So, yeah, that's what I really like about this show, is that we get to demonstrate games that I don't really talk about a whole lot otherwise. So that's pretty fun. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and next time, leave it to you. Oh, yeah.